Opportunity, unfortunately, so few of us know how to manage it all. How do we account for our opportunities? How do we account for our time? How do we account for our relationships, health, spirituality, homes, finances, influence, and careers? How do we account for the one life we have to live? I am so glad you asked. In this program, you will find answers to all of these questions and more. Welcome to the Account for Your Life podcast with your host, the healthy accountant himself, Jay Moore.
What's happening, guys? Happy Labor Day. Welcome back to another episode of the Account for Life podcast. Countdown to the end, part one, guys, of 4. I announced yesterday that on Thursday will be the last Account for Your Life podcast. It'll be the last one. We would have reached 850 episodes, and I'm stopping for a specific purpose, and I'm stopping because it's what I'm coining transition. You know, we have to transition from how to account for your life to something totally new. And so I'm making this announcement today and every day for the next 4 days, because that's it. You know, on September, what date is that? Thursday, September the 7th, will be the last episode. And then I believe we'll take 25 days off for a reflection, a reset, and come back and do something what I believe could be more amazing than anything that we've ever done. So as we count down to the last episode, I thought about where we started. And so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to kind of like work back from almost like the first 4 episodes that I did. The first episode was I tried everything. The second was the annoying problem that is a gift. The third one was the things you can do you never realize, and then the fourth one was where are you now? So it's fitting to kind of like start with where are you now after going through this Account for Your Life process. And so as I kind of just reflect on it and I say, It's been several years. We started the journey June of 2017. So here we are. What was that? 6 years, in 6+ years of doing videos, recording podcasts. First, it started with the Enlightenment series, which was more motivation. It was like, this probably motivates people. But based on when we started Account for Your Life, it was more on the kingdom and kind of like, you know, the kingdom in business and just really just controlling your life. And so the Enlightenment series really just kind of got me going, just got me, you know, got my juices flowing. It was like, oh my goodness, wow. So I'm gonna ask you a question, right? Because it's always good to ask a question to those that may watch this at some point or even listen. If you did something for an extended period of time and then you realize that it was time to change, what would you do? Like, a lot of times we do things for an extended period of time, and and if I look at how society is set up, it's kind of like, you know, in my new book that's coming out, there's something I talk about in it. It's called, you know, if it ain't broke, you better fix it, right? But in this realm, right, most of the time they say, well, if it ain't broke, you better not fix it. Meaning, if you have a job, keep your job for 20, 30, 40 years. Don't ever leave that good old job. You know, if you've been doing something at work, don't ever stop it, because you don't want to mess with something that's working. When I look at that and I say, wait a second, it's like, if I don't take my life and keep iterating on my life and keep getting better. Like, you know, it's kind of like, you know, how many ways can I make a layup in basketball? You know, and so what I mean is, you know, you've got people like, say, a Kyrie Irving. He practices how to spin the ball a certain way, just making layups. So, you know, yeah, you can make a basic layup, but he'll like go on one side, he'll spin it a certain way. Because what he's doing, he's teaching himself how to make a layup, but in a different way. So that when he's in the game and he's in the heat of the moment, he goes to the basket and then he has to go underneath the backboard and he knows just how to spin it. And when he spins it, it kind of like it does one of these things where it hits one corner and then comes back the other way and just goes in. So where we are now has more to do with, man, I have to iterate. I have to keep elevating. I have to keep changing the things that I've been doing. So if I had an opportunity to look at what I've accomplished, and when you get an opportunity to look at what have you accomplished, and when you get to the point of, man, I've accomplished so much. So what should I do now? This is where a lot of us get stuck, right? Because it's like, well, I don't know what else to do. I should just keep doing the same thing. And that was my thing for 800 plus episodes. I was just like, well, I don't want to stop. I thought about it before. It was like, man, I should probably take 30 days. Man, maybe I need to do a reset, figure some things out. But I wouldn't do it because I was afraid. Well, God told me to do it. But then I was like, well, God, and then God was like, well, this is what we got to do. Now I'm like, oh, but it's clear now. See, a lot of times when we're making decisions, sometimes when it's not clear, we just don't make one. Or the clear decision is that the decision not to make a decision. So, as I kind of contemplated stopping the podcast. This is a part of my day. I wake up every single day thinking about, what is it that I'm driving towards? I don't know. Or I do know. And at the end of the day, 850 episodes would have said how to account for your life. If anybody needs to know how to account for their life, then they got 850 episodes to say to themselves, wow, I can choose 10, I can choose 20, I can choose a whole year, and then I've got enough. So I just got to the point where it's just like, hey, well, I'm at the point in my life, I'm at the point in my business where it's time to transform. It's time to transform into something else. You know what the definition of transformation is? The definition of transformation is when something goes through a dramatic change in form and appearance. And usually it turns out to be different than what it was. It's kind of like the butterfly, like in the book that I'm going to be releasing soon. I talk about the butterfly and the metamorphosis that a butterfly goes into. A butterfly starts out as a larva. A butterfly goes in and becomes a caterpillar. And that caterpillar, while it's a caterpillar, it's doing what it has to do. It's eating, it's loading up. It's because it knows that something is coming. And then when the time comes, that caterpillar goes into a cocoon, and then that metamorphosis happens. See, the interesting thing about that metamorphosis, if you saw a caterpillar and a butterfly all at the same time, you would probably be like, they're not even the same thing. But the caterpillar transformed. And that transformation was dramatic. And it turned into something that can fly. What about you? Would you like to fly? I know I would. I'm ready to soar. And that's why we're just preparing. We're preparing to get to a new level. And so the Account for Life, man, I think I've done the job that God gave me. The next job is coming. And boy, when that job gets here, when you see what that is, I believe it's going to transform many people's lives. So guys, I thank you. This is the countdown to the end. We've got 3 more episodes, and then Account for Your Life will be no more, but we will come back and we will be something totally new, something transformational. I'm looking forward to that. I hope you are too. God bless you, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.
Thanks for joining us, listening friends. We are so glad you invested this time with us. Always remember, you only have one life to live, so live it to the fullest. This has been the Account for Your Life podcast with your host, the healthy accountant himself, Jay Moore. Until next time, make it a great day.